Okay, before we look at the Globex, we are seeing selling in the E-mini. 53, 55 is support, then 45, 48 to 50 is support. If the E-mini continues to sell, we do not want to be short the financials, but really getting great setups on the way down. Setback trade, mean green trade right here. Setback trade, setback trade, setback trade. Retest failure trade, setback trade. And you can see that we've got pretty heavy duty selling from the 50 lot player and more, and we got 1.895 contracts traded. So the action is going to the sell side, and there's probably not much that can change that. So taking a look at the F1 screen, got an outside day with a reverse and a sell, and it certainly is caused by the news. I don't think we would have had this without the Russian airliner. Not the Russian airline, but without the airliner being shot down over Russia. Excuse me, got a lower high and a lower low. Misread that screen. So this screen favors the seller. Lower high, lower low. The attractor down here is in the 48 area. Market is making new intraday lows as I speak. Okay, we have two moves out of the middle, and those directionally tell you which way the market is going. New distribution. And if we took a look at this J period and put all of these distributions together up here, you can see J would be a move out of the middle. But in this particular distribution, the 65 area starts a new distribution lower. And when you see these moves come out of the middle, you do not want to have resting limit buys at value area lows or where you think support is. Got plenty of time to get long. So we came in today wanting to be sellers. Thought we would get a test of the 55 to 60 area early. The news was not supportive for the stock markets early, yet it rallied. And we did say that the best sell would come off of a rally, which would knock the weak shorts out of their positions, and it did. Our number sell zone this morning was at 70. We did not get a trade set up to go short at 70. We got a beautiful trade set up to go short at our number 2 area, which was 74.76, and we caught the high of the market. We anticipated a test of the 60.62 area. You can see in G period and F period we got down into that area. The market held, rallied all the way back up to 68.50. The top of value holds, and the market sells. So the profile structure, our insights into where the market was going to trade today and how it was going to trade were spot on. Okay, assuming a close in the 55 area, the first sell is going to be 59 to 61, and our second sell is going to be 64 to 66. On the buy side, we're going to open it up. We're going to play for this high volume area down here, so we're going to make 48 to 50 buy one. And then our old 38 to 40 for buy two. We never know what has people throw in the towel or gets people to throw in the towel. And a Malaysian airliner getting shot down today was the trigger that started the selling, but we had bad news this morning that did not start the selling, and that's where you would have anticipated it. So it's when you get into trading the E-mini, it becomes problematic if you key off of fundamentals. I apologize for that interruption. Had a workman here, and he had to leave and tell me a couple of things, and the wife is out of commission. So that's where we are. So anyway, you never know what the trigger is. So we've got this 45 area down here, possible support. We've got this high volume area right in here is possible support. Then we've got 53. So this 53 to 43 area is where we're going to look for some support, and that's why I'm opening it up to the downside. So, and we'll see how she plays out. When you think about who benefits from shooting an airliner down, if you were going to make a guess off the top of your head who could make hay out of this, it would be a terrorist group, whoever they might be. And I'm not saying that there was a terrorist group involved in this. If you take a look at the Ukraine, it's hard to see what good they would get out of it. I mean, they sure as hell would lose what little Western support they do have. If you look at Russia, on a PR deal like that, I mean, no one thinks real highly of Russia anyway. They do business with them. And then you add the Russian-controlled rebels. So I don't know. And then Jeff says the bastards that are now running the Kiev government are the ones behind this. It started the whole deal. So I mean, there's enough different people to point your fingers at. It's hard to make. I mean, it'll dribble out over time. So we got resistance here in this 25.16 area to 24. And then we definitely have resistance above 126 to 126.4. I think we made it up to almost 20 that day. So these are inflection points. This market is pointed up. Economic weakness in the E-mini, international flight to quality. It's hard to say, but we're at the edge of resistance, and we need to get to this 16 to 20 area. Otherwise, we should see profit taking tomorrow. So we got a higher low and a higher high, and that means buy into weakness first to see if we can extend the range. If we can't extend the range, get short. We are extending the range at M period because the E-mini is making new intraday lows. And we got to move out of the middle in the M period. So just using the power of this long-term distribution, we got pretty good support in this 8 to 12 area. And my hope was, when I was doing the homework a few moments ago, was to be able to buy this 8 to 12 area. Well, we've taken the market up. So we got an attractor all the way up here at 25. So the easiest trade to see is to sell failure to extend the overnight range. And I don't know where that's going to be, so we'll make it 16 to 20. And if you want to put a limit order out there on the sell side, do it at 24. That would be your limit sell. On the buy side, we're at 15.5, so we're going to make it 13 to 9 on the assumption that the E-mini is not blowing and going to the upside. So 9 to 13 will be buy 1, and then buy 2 will be 1 to 5. Okay, looking at the ZB, the knob spread got out to 24 today. And something really was different. You could sense it at the first part of the week because it did not start to sell, which is what you'd expect post an auction. And even though the market was moving lower, the financials were moving lower at the first part of the week a little bit, the knob spread was widening. And so the bet that interest rates are headed lower was being increased by the longer term players. Okay, we have two moves out of the middle here in an M period. We've got this 38.24 as the high for the last 6 months, and we got a high of 15. So selling failure to take out 16 to 20. And again, if the E-mini is cratering, we sure as hell don't want to be short. And the last rotate down was 03. So 5 to 9 is the buy zone. It's aggressive, and you can adjust that lower if the E-mini is showing stability. And then 29 to 01. For all the reasons we talked about before, we just going home short gold and crude and treasuries is more difficult to do precisely because of what we saw happen today. Doesn't mean it happens every day. It doesn't mean you can't be short. But it just means that the explosive moves are to the upside in treasuries, gold, and crude. They're not to the downside, usually. And that's based off of news. That's not based on central bank intervention, which happens all too often these days. Well, that $4.5 billion that was shot at the gold market, all but $15 of that has been erased. Okay, gold. We had the selling that came out of the 1340 area. Started the Bank of Japan. Accelerated when the market was sold on our opening in the United States. And they had like 2.4 billion and 1.4, so that's what 3.8 billion thrown at the market. And the only entity that would do that would be a government agency. It's not their money. They're not held accountable. They don't have to tell anybody why and how they're doing it. It's kind of like currency intervention. Okay, so we've got this retesting this low, so 16 to the breakout right here, 14 will be buy one. I can't imagine that they will find any solution to what happened to and in the 10 area plus or minus will be buy two. Can sell failure to take out 25 to 27. Just have to give it room. You just can't get in a big hurry to get short. Looking at crude oil, finished strong. Was pointed higher when we left, and we made new highs. So structurally, if we stay above 103, the next stop is that 103, 104 area. Now, I don't think war breaks out over this Ukrainian situation, but again, it just let the market open up, let it settle down, sell failure to take out 25 to 50, and then 75 to 104 would be sell 2. On the buy side, we're going to have pretty good support down in this 50 to 75 area. Last rotate down stopped at 40, then stopped at 65. So this 40 to 60 area, 65 area will be buy 1, and then buy 2 is going to be down here, 102 plus or minus. But again, you can get short. It's going home short on the day session close, where you have all of the exposure. And again, there'll be a lot of rumors, a lot of potential headlines that turn out to be wrong before we find out what happened and who pulled the trigger. Okay, I think the euro is headed to at least 135. Again, don't know how long it'll take to get there. So I like the short side of the market. And if we look at where resistance is right now, the sell is in the 40 to 50 area. So 35, 45 will be sell 1, and then 50 to 60 will be sell 2. And I'm going to leave the buy zone down here, this 135 area plus or minus, and then 75 plus or minus. It's hard to see how the euro could rally off of their economic situation and off of what's happening in Russia. Okay, that's all I have for right now. I've got it'll probably take about 45 minutes to get everything up and posted with the recaps, etc. I think the invasion of Gaza was expected, and I think that that's another piece of news that would make people hesitant to sell